Your house?
No, I haven't over it takes you. I might just get rid of it.
It's pretty funny if you first wear it.
I thought about moving the house and having one at home as well.
I have
just a
the
small one around the house I can give it. It's the Yugo of the one that actually. You know, I can't think of how much you got there and how much it turns out. Yeah, it's fucking. I mean, the new one is. Yeah, I actually got to the point today now where I can actually test fire and stuff. So.
What happened is he bring down this really
Hey, this thing, man, it's again twice the power of the old one. It's an 80 watt. It's a pretty powerful. This one actually cuts metal.
I think it's a laser. Freaking sharks with freaking laser.
I mean, the other one would cut thin metal. This will cut metal.
Right.
So, like metal. Yeah. You coming to Man with Power next week? That's next week.
I think so.
Once again, I have all my stuff
I
submitted.
think so, yeah.
Yeah. It's only an evening gig.
Yeah.
115 tasks.
Well, I told, and we can work it out, but I told Ty, I think I got 6 people coming. He said, alright, I'll put you on the list.
Whatever. So, I'm no longer going to your wife's birthday party.
I do know this.
Oh, they're having actually planned it.
Is it Max's? Yeah, that's what I
Max's
thought.
bachelor party.
Alright, so we got feed there.
Now,
We got the feed there.
After the advertisement.
you know, yeah, we are live now on YouTube. Alright. You know, other group of friends, like, I got to put a lot of that.
Which is,
The opposite.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like bloopers.
3.
Get out the cups. G2B pregame.
There we go.
Live from the 6th subfloor of the Guys, Games, and Beer Towers. It's the
AKA
Guys,
the
Games, and Beer podcast. Yeah.
AKA the third level of hell.
Yay!
Oh,
you can see the energy.
Oh my God!
So for a second, I thought you were just gonna slowly like NPR your way. Just start the episode.
Yeah.
Hey, let
It's
her
the
show
Guys,
your
Games,
goals.
and
No,
Beer
long overdue for the NPR intro.
Yeah, I haven't done one in a while.
All right, so
Anyway,
I guess we should probably get the beer court logo up. While you're getting the beer court logo up, I will start pouring the beer because we've got something special tonight.
Especially can't get it anywhere else.
That's true. So nobody else gets to try this but us.
Yeah,
Notice
so
the
if
logo
it's
on
if
the
it's great,
carrier.
well then haha, and if it
Sucks to
sucks,
be
well
you.
then it's probably for the best.
Oh,
It's like, notice the logo on the carrying case, and notice the logo in the bottom.
Don't match?
they can't see because we're in
And
beer
neither
court.
of them are correct.
Bum.
oh,
Ba-da-bum-bum.
Beer court.
All right, so tonight on Beer Court we have something a little different. We do an event once a year, Mech Day, which was just this weekend. And
We have leftovers.
last year we actually did, we brewed a beer for it, and we never got to do it on Beer Court because it was gone by the time we did the show that day.
We were pretty drunk.
We were pretty hammered.
Yeah, check out last year's episode.
Yeah.
We were, somebody in particular was really hammered.
really?
Really? Really?
Who might that be? So what we did last year is we brewed a special beer just for the day.
And we named it a really cool
Yes,
something.
yes we did. It's called Hoplite, Hoplite. And for those of you familiar with the original BattleTech universe, Hoplite is one of the light mechs that you actually get to try out first, or one of the easier mechs to work with in the game. It's a small, fast mech, not heavily armored. It's a jumper. It's a pretty darn good mech overall. So we named this beer in honor of the Hoplite mech from BattleTech.
It's supposed to be a less hoppier IPA style.
Okay, well we'll talk about that
Supposed
after
to
we
be,
get going.
And what happened?
Yeah,
Two different things.
I may have overdid it a bit this year
Perhaps,
when I brewed it. So this is a brew by Bar Dunk. So it's an IPA.
So it's definitely supposed to be an IPA, not a.
Oh no,
ale.
it is not an ale. It's an IPA. I brew this as an IPA. All right, so let's give it a try and see what we think.
So before we go any further,
Tastes like
Hoppy.
shame. Oh
But
wait.
it's good. Oh my god, it's good after it sits.
Tastes
what
like
what does the A
greatness
stand
and
for in
bad
IPA now?
decisions.
What's that?
What does the
Ale?
A stand
Ale.
for? Okay, so
Yes, but it's not a straight ale. Okay, not like an ale like when I brew like a summer
I
ale
was wondering
or
if anyone was gonna
well,
bring that up.
a cream ale.
But
Is it?
a pale ale?
I'm that guy.
A pale
it
ale
really?
is different than an IPA.
Right,
Oh, that is very true.
right.
That's true.
Somebody said though.
No, that's why I said it's not an ale. It's an ale, but it's a hopped ale, not a straight ale.
Right, just like all bourbon is whiskey, but not all whiskey is bourbon.
Right.
You know, it's the same
Right.
thing.
My.
Okay, you know something?
After this sits,
It's aged
had it-
exceptionally well.
we had it at Mech Day on Saturday, and it was definitely had some kick
Mellowed
to
out
it.
a little
It's
bit.
But
much
man,
better
it is
today
fucking smooth right
than it
now.
was on
It
Saturday.
mellowed beautifully.
Yeah, it almost has I'm not gonna use the right word, but almost like a little sweetness. I don't know what that is.
No, it's got a sweetness to it.
Yeah, that's what I was missing on Saturday. is
Fuck, that
the-
mellows
the
it out a
little
lot.
Yeah,
sweetness.
it did.
Yeah,
No,
it's
it
nice.
wasn't as sweet on.
Yeah,
on-
it was
on
much,
Saturday when we
much more
drank it.
bitter.
It
was
is
like
kind
a
of
punch in the
amazing.
teeth.
How only a few days can make a difference in your home brews when you're,
Yeah.
I've aged this for 28 days,
Versus right.
versus like 35
Right.
days.
And I did actually rush this one, so when I had it on tap there, it hadn't aged as long as I normally like to age them. I normally like to age mine a good month before I serve them. I hadn't had.
Well, this
mine
was
a month.
under a month?
Oh yeah, it was well under a month.
Well, I'm not much for IPAs. I like this.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah.
You know something? Now I'm going to say it's more like the original hop light.
To
The hoppy
anybody,
flavor is down, or the bitterness
Yeah.
for the hoppiness is down now, and like you said, now it's got that touch of sweetness to it.
it's a little
Yeah.
lighter. It's along the lines of your other kind of American ale styles like fixed gear or things like that.
Too
Very
Hearted,
much so.
yeah.
Very
Yeah,
much
Too
so.
Hearted
And
ale.
on Saturday when we had this, it hadn't mellowed quite as much. I was like, oh, this, and then of course it was warmer, like almost 80, and it was like, I don't think IPAs are particularly refreshing on a hot day,
I agree.
and so
It's a
this
winter
one,
beer.
yeah, this one kind of,
Tastes
it was
like
kind of
Christmas.
like, oh, this isn't, but the way it is now, I'd have been fine with that. on
Right.
Saturday.
So basically, it's a 3 hop beer, and I upped the Cascade hop level. As a finishing step for it, I make a hop tea out of Cascade hops. So if you notice, it's got that almost a piney taste to it, not a citrus or not a citrusy taste.
Yeah.
Cascade's a Northern American hop, and they tend to be a little bit pinier in their taste, and you can taste that coming through.
Yeah,
God
definitely.
damn, this is good.
Yeah, it really.
I want a second class.
Well, you can have a second glass. There's
Call it
actually
dibs.
there is a little bit left in there.
Well, that spoils how I'm gonna vote for it.
It aged well.
Yeah. On Saturday,
I may have served it a little bit soon. All right, so verdict, guys.
it's good right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so Hop Light, which none of you can try except for us, unless you maybe someday come to one of our Mech Days. We will make it again next year for Mech Day. So that's all thumbs up on that. All right, Judge Rob, pass verdict.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hop one. Hop one.
Hop one.
Oh, hop
Two,
one.
hop four.
Hop one. Of being guilty of being hopped up
Guilty.
on fake charges. I find you guilty. Yes, they were totally false. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Number 2, being deliciously tasty. I also find you guilty. The sentence? Anybody?
Drinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine's already gone. So,
So-
yeah, I've already carried out that.
A
sentence.
quick side note. See, since I was already kind of planning to judge it kind of so and everything, I was gonna call it an urban mech because it was so tiny and crap.
Oh, ow.
But now it's officially up to the Hop Light standard.
Okay. Good to know. All right, so Rob, what are we actually talking about tonight?
Today we're going to be talking about 2 topics. First topic is, of course, my first mech. Mech virginity. The first mech game you played.
Your
that
robo-gynity?
busted your robo. Your robo-gina.
Okay.
All right, and second
And
topic.
second one is 2 new mech games coming out. What do you think?
All right. So who wants to start out with the what mech game what they
I
cut the
think
two
there's
shot?
4 decades coming out.
Okay,
Oh,
so
you meant
again,
separately.
for those of you
Yeah.
who we talked about it last week, we had a weekend long Not weekend long. Saturday we had our what's the official guys games of Mech Day. We set up.
That's why we're wearing fatigues yet.
Yeah, that's why we are wearing our fatigue and Steel Battalion tags.
Yeah.
Yep.
We get together and we set up a whole bunch of rigs. We have, between me and him and everybody else we know, we've collected far too many Steel Battalion rigs.
You and I are up to 11.
Yeah, just between us we have 11 rigs.
I
So-
started looking, but somebody drove the fucking price up by buying
Oh, I
them
wonder
all.
who that was. I have no idea.
Whoa, yeah.
Yeah, don't buy around this time of year.
Yeah. Yeah, we always do tend to
The
pick up a
market
few
will
more
spike.
rigs.
Yeah.
No, I got one rig just before Mech Day for $70.
Because you found one on Craigslist.
Yeah, Craigslist in Madison, $70. It was in really good condition too.
I say wait for the buyer's remorse in September.
Yeah, but here's the thing: we won't be giving any of them back.
Yeah.
If once we have them,
They're not leaving. Yeah.
they are never going back on the market.
And again, it's a tip, and I keep saying this to our group,
Just a
but it's
tip.
like they're not going to get any cheaper. They're never going to remake them. There's limited quantities, and there's like a little more exposure. Again, they're probably not ever going to get like super expensive. There's a chance, but the prices are only going to go
still
up.
see them popping up around 200, which
Yeah,
was-
I mean that's
was
about the original
The day
price.
they came out,
Yeah.
how many years ago?
Yeah, I know.
They were 200. So.
Right, so it's still a good deal. And again,
Yeah, but-
for what you're getting, it's an amazing deal. All right, again, if you haven't seen the Steel Battalion controllers, it is undoubtedly the
Spectacular.
most amazing controller ever made for a game. Nothing even comes close. I mean, nothing even comes close to that one. It's that advanced and that cool, and works flawlessly with the game Steel Battalion.
Yeah.
You can use it with Mech Warrior on the PC. There's also
And hack it
patches for
together
that.
for other games like
Right.
Elite Dangerous. People have done other controller hacks like Control Space
Ooh, you
Program.
can go play with Elite Dangerous. Huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
about it. It wouldn't be bad for Elite
That's
Dangerous,
kinda
would
neat.
it?
Yeah.
Exactly, because you've got both
Uh-huh.
sticks. So
Oh, wow.
it can be played with other things without too much work. There's all sorts of programs like Travis was talking about. People have hacked a bunch of other games to use it just fine, and it's good for other things. But again, that experience on Steel Battalion is second to none. All right, so who wants to go first as far as what they cut their teeth on mech-wise?
I'll go ahead. I mean, for me, it was pretty, like, I mean, the mech subset genre is very small and limited already, but mine was pretty vanilla, because I grew up in the 90s, so it ended up being Mech Warrior 2, which, you know, that was, like, the it game of, like, you know, mid-century. Like, the way it operated, the graphics were great for the time for PC. I mean, it was early 3D graphics, but it was friggin' impressive for the time. I think it was, like, 94-ish, around that era.
Yep.
Yeah, so it was like, and the amount of mechs they had in the game, the campaign had a lot of different scenarios, pretty deep gameplay. It was relatively, it has a good difficulty curve, but still was fairly accessible, where a lot of the earlier mech games were relatively dense, a little kind of hard to get a hold on and learn. It's good for people who are new to the genre, and I think it still holds out outside of the graphics. The gameplay is still really great.
You know, and that's an interesting thing, because there have been a lot of mech games before that, like Crest of Deception, a lot of the BattleTech universe had already been converted over. The problem is with those, is they rely less on the graphics, more on the strategic play. So
Yeah.
they were a little bit harder to get into, whereas
Yeah.
that one made it really easy
To
just
pick
get
up and
into.
play,
It
yeah.
was-
Yeah, for sure.
It was an action game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Mech Warrior franchise, definitely kind of took it and made it a very, like, pick up and play style. And again, that's what I needed. I was a kid, and it introduced me to giant robots being fucking awesome. And here I am buying oversized statues of things. So I guess it was a good gateway.
Okay,
drug.
speaking of oversized statues of things, do you want to explain what you have in front of you?
I mean, most people know this is from Titanfall. It's the collector's edition statue, and I ended up trading some spare NES games for it because I was like, oh man, I've seen it. I really wanted it for a while, and I couldn't justify spending $180, $170 for it used on eBay. So I was like, I'll trade some spare video games for it. And once I found somebody who did that, I was like, deal. So I'm really, really happy to have this now.
fucking
And now,
amazing.
like, I've seen it in person and everything, and it's just like, it's giant, and it glows, and it's cool. Now I have to get the Titanfall 2 Collector's Edition, which has the pilot helmet that you can actually, like, wear and stuff, and it glows, and Yeah.
Now Denise was.
I'm officially down the mech rabbit hole again.
Yeah.
I say as I play Titanfall 2 right now.
Well, as he's talking about his first mech game, he's deep into a round of Titanfall 2.
They just
It's fucking gorgeous.
Released the new update probably about month and a half ago for Frontier Defense, which makes it a co-op wave base thing, almost like Killing Floor with robots. Like people.
So Saturday we had people there that weren't necessarily into. Like, Denise is not a gigantic, fan of, but she did like this.
Titanfall?
No, this.
The robot.
Oh, the robot.
She's like,
it's fucking
man,
awesome.
it's cool. Look at the detail.
Yeah,
She's
the detail they put into this is the coolest collector's edition item I know of.
It really is. That's an amazing piece of kit. All right. Anybody else want to go next?
Well, I'm gonna just piggyback off of his because mine is also MechWarrior 2.
Yeah,
It
they're not
was
90s kids, man. You know?
It was one of the few games because we always had Macintosh computers in my house when I was a kid, so it was one of the few games like that, and like all the Wolfensteins and like the first couple of Dooms were all.
Was that on the Mac as well?
Yeah.
I still have MechWarrior 2 in its like in the metal box like for Apple, like I think it's 2 discs or whatever. But yeah, it's a great. For sure.
It's definitely a good game. I had that one too. I mean, it wasn't obviously.
And it has like really dope cutscenes.
The intro to that.
The intro to that is.
It's just
so
like fucking
tight.
tense.
Yeah. Drop shift.
Yeah, leaving them and
Drop
everything. Like that last stand.
It's like the Hawks and the Wolves or something.
Yeah.
Factions.
Yeah, and especially for that time.
Yeah,
man.
I guess really tight.
Yeah.
So, anyway, that's fine.
No, that's a good one. That's a good one. I'm gonna go next. Okay, so I'm gonna go way back. So what kind of started the whole mech thing was a company called FASA, and everybody's familiar with FASA. They did the White Wolf and all the other games.
Put it down a little bit.
I'm sorry.
It's getting
So
light.
their original game.
There you go.
Their original game was called BattleTech. It's a giant mech game. It really plays exceptionally well. It's a good. This is straight strategy games. You've heard us talk about.
Well, this is true tabletop.
Right.
But,
This is true tabletop. You've heard us talk about the game Mech Force. This is the game that it ripped off. BattleTech was the game that Mech Force ripped off. Ripped off perfectly, a little too perfectly. That was the problem. And FASA did go after the guy, and again, they went back and forth. But so this was the game I cut my teeth on originally, even before. Again, Mech Force that we talk about all the time.
Isn't it strange how BattleTech was the name of the original game?
Right.
The guy, the Amiga Mech Force.
Mech Force.
Which also was called Mech Warrior in
Battle
different-
Force.
Battle
Force,
Force.
yeah.
Right.
Changed it to
You know,
Battle
and
Force.
then they changed it to Mech Warrior.
Yeah.
But all of them use the same mechs throughout.
That was
those three
that was
games.
the legality issue.
Yeah.
He used all the mechs from the original game, and technically those were all the property of FASA, and they did not find
Found it
fun.
amusing, yeah.
Right. So and again, they're perfect clones of the. I mean, he was very good at doing his specs. So again, same kind of layout that we played when we played on the computer, but this was the original game, and this is where I cut. This came out in I think '82 originally. I didn't pick it up until about '84. I didn't start till second edition. So this is a second edition copy of it. Great game. I mean, good strategy game, a lot of fun.
Go ahead.
You could develop characters. It was, again, you had clans, so you could build your characters up and develop your character. Had a decent storyline behind it. I think that's part of what made the game so good. The whole clan situation and the politics behind it played well into the game. So, again, really a good game. If you find yourself a copy of this one, strongly suggest picking it up. Go back and revisit it. It's a really great strategy game. You know, this was at the time that, Avalon Hill was doing a lot of strategy games. This was more than, again, before, this was when you were still getting a lot of hardcore, battle simulations, war simulations, naval simulations. So they really put a lot of time into the actual combat and what that is about. So plays well from that standpoint. My opener. Why, yes, sir, right there. All right, so again, that's my choice and that was the way I cut my teeth. And you can see why I would like Mech Warrior so much, because it really is an exact copy of this. I mean, it just takes care of all the grunt work for you. And also you can play against the AI in that game.
Yeah.
And so you didn't have to, you could play it by yourself because the AI was so good in it that it was like playing against somebody else.
See, now I'm gonna piggyback on you because now what I was going to say was Mech Force, the Amiga Mech Force.
Right.
That's what I was gonna say, but but it was about the same time I was introduced to both, and technically I started playing BattleTech first.
Right.
Because at the time I was going to the University of Parkside.
The AW guys.
And the Parkside Association of Wargamers, PAW for short.
Yeah.
Had a nice, table tennis size arena set up with the foam and we had several mechs that each we bought. And we'd spend time like painting mechs and stuff like that, and we'd play the game. You're getting out the old tape measure to measure the inches. So inches were basically hex levels,
right? And line of sight.
Literally get down.
Yeah. So because again, and I came through by PNW, so you always go, no, you can't see me. There is no way you're seeing me over that hill right now.
So really, BattleTech was the one that and then it was like we were playing that, and then we bring out, we found the Amiga one, and it was like, oh man, this is so cool.
Yeah, just all the upkeep, yeah.
Well, that's it. You didn't have to do all that.
Well, that's it. Yeah, and you could, like when you set up one of those tabletops with, a little city scene and some hills and stuff like that. You can move that stuff around and stuff, but it's not as easy as there was 40 maps in those.
Right.
You could just.
No, and that's the other thing.
Now you got water and you got mountains this time. Now it's a whole city scene, and now it's it was a little harder with the, we set this up on our thing, and if you want to do, have a different scene, you had to get out the foam and start whittling a new scene,
No, that was always the issue, yeah. I mean, miniature games are great, and this lends itself very well to miniature play. They did, surprisingly enough, by the time 2nd Gen came out, there were lead miniatures available for it.
Right.
So you could
I played with the lead.
You could buy the lead miniatures and paint them up, but
and suck on them.
Woo! Expensive. Holy
Like
shit!
yeah.
They were expensive back then. And not like miniatures have gotten any cheaper. Miniatures, if anything, have gotten more expensive, which I never understood because now they make them out of plastic and stuff. And the detail's not all that much more than when we used to buy them.
Well,
the lead ones were fairly expensive.
And a lot of times you would have,
Because
you'd have probably, we had, I think maybe a dozen or something like that. Well, there's 60 different mechs and stuff.
Yeah.
So hey, I'm using this one for an Atlas.
Yeah, it's close enough. It's close enough, right?
It's kind of big. It's
Right.
small,
You did not collect up every mech available. And again, the whole thing about this game, when you get into the computerized version, there are hundreds of mechs.
Oh yeah.
The one
Different
thing
variants
FASA
and stuff.
did is they kept adding to that mech universe, and they did a great job. All the mechs make
Very robust, yeah.
right logical sense. Yeah, it's a really solid, robust
You
setup.
probably wouldn't have, and you wouldn't have. I mean, if you had an Atlas and there was 20 versions of it, you probably would really have a
No,
different
you don't
lead
have
mech.
to.
Because it's like, oh, this one's got machine guns and this one
has
has
missiles
lasers.
on it,
Yeah,
Right, but even the base
yeah.
robots, there were a
Yeah.
couple hundred by the time they were done with the game. Of the
Fucking
base
Hatchet,
robots.
man.
Yeah. Oh God, you used to play that one all the time.
Not really. I liked it on the Mech Force.
Yeah, Mech Force. Yeah.
Because it was fun to
It
charge
was,
people and
For
hatch
whatever
people.
reason, always into flamethrowers.
Yeah, well,
it's
because
gonna heat
it's nothing
you
like,
up.
there's nothing like getting up to you and torching you up and raising it up so you can't fire anything.
But when you played it was kind of neat to play that, to understand, and there was in your head you could kind of get this feel of okay, this is how this would probably really work. I mean, so what I mean is that you had a character sheet, and so if you took a hit in the leg, you might knock off some armor or something like that. But if it gets through to some of the inventory, you start losing things like a gimbal or an actuator or something like that, and you go, oh, well, now the foot doesn't work because you lost your actuator.
That was
Well,
fun to do.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden they got
Wait for
drag
them
their
lift.
leg around.
Right.
Yeah, they lift over the
waiting for
board.
that stupid ass list. Shit that
Oh,
just
you
got
fall.
broke.
Yeah, heaven forbid you should have to go through across any water if
Yeah,
you're
now
actually
you just
drowned.
keep falling
Because you're
down.
gonna fall
You
out
fall
every
down.
time you step.
Lost
know,
half my
we-
damn heat sinks.
Yeah,
and now I
exactly.
just-
Well,
That's
that's
on
the
fire
other
every
thing, the
time I
whole
shoot
idea of
something.
heat sinks and that, if you fire a bunch of weapons,
Right.
there's heat costs for that.
Right,
that's what
that concept
I really,
itself,
I really
you know?
liked how they did weapons in that universe. So again, you've got you got laser weapons, which are unlimited ammo but generate heat.
Lots
got
of heat.
Ballistic weapons, which do ballistic damage. You have ammo, which expends over time and can also explode if it's hit. And then you've got you're kind of like more like artillery, like there's autocannon and things like that. But it came down to like laser weapons
Well, that's
and then
that-
missiles.
But see, that's
that,
a cool.
that became the invention of pods, where you had your ammo stored in a pod.
Yeah,
so,
so it only
would
explode.
blow. It would only blow up in
But
the
I mean,
pod.
the fact they had the missile, laser, and ballistic stuff, I thought was a really good balance. Like, you could build your mechs very interestingly. Like,
Well-
you could really tune them the way you wanted, and they each had really good kind of pros and cons to
Well,
them.
they all
Yeah.
they had cycle times, which you got to understand that idea. Like, okay, I fire something. How long does it take
For it to reload.
reload? And a laser's going to be quicker than a mechanical missile, But again, you could keep firing, but you're going to heat up
And eventually
and
you
shut
overheat.
down.
Right, if you overheat, right, you either can't fire because you're too hot, or you shut down. Your mech literally shuts down in the middle of the
CPU
field.
that's overheating.
Yeah, exactly. And you gotta wait until your heat goes down so you can do
Meanwhile,
anything.
you're standing there.
Yeah, in the middle of the field.
And there's no rules against shooting a shutdown.
Oh no. I always love shooting shut down.
This
mech.
is war!
Exactly.
Well, that's where the flamethrower would start coming in. You basically try to shut down
Oh,
a
could
mech
ya?
and then just pound it.
Yeah. Which was another interesting thing that they did in this game versus like the Mech Warrior universe. You could in BattleTech and in Mech Force, you could pound the crap out of
Oh,
it.
yeah.
There was literally
Kicking
a
and
move
punching.
called kick,
Yeah.
where you would get up to, and it was great. You get on the high ground just above the other mech, and when he's trying to climb up the mountain, you start kicking him in the head, and you can pick where your kick hits. That makes sense. So you're standing above it. It's a mech trying to scramble.
Got
up.
the high ground.
A mountainside.
Don't try it.
Don't
Right.
try anything.
And so you would literally kick. But if you
I will
goofed,
kick your head off.
if you goofed, you could fall over.
Well, that was it. Every time you hit like
And you
then,
goofed.
Then if
Every
you tried
time.
kick,
Yeah.
you had to make basically a
saving
piloting check
Right.
to
Which
make sure
the
that
game
your
had.
pilot was capable of doing that kind of
Maneuver.
execution. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and your pilot had to have that skill. And
Right.
your-
And see, and
Yeah.
this is the depth that this goes into,
wow.
and that Mech Force on the PC went in. I'm sorry, on the Amiga went into that just didn't exist in the Mech Warrior
Sure.
games. Not the Mech Warrior games again.
You could punch it still. I mean, you would just move your mech. You stand
Yeah.
next to him, move mech.
Yeah,
your
but
mech,
again, the punch, the kick, the
Yeah.
hand-to-hand combat in these games was really well developed.
And there was a recycle to that, which made
Oh,
sense
yeah.
too, because if you kick, you got to bring that foot back.
right,
And
recenter
then-
yourself.
And then recenter yourself to kick back out again. So there was a recycle time to that. Everything was based on time,
Right.
seconds of time.
that it took,
So-
to get back online.
It would take 5 seconds to recycle, and it was what it seemed like forever in Mech
God,
4.
yes.
The game, and it didn't when you played a tabletop took forever too. But
Even worse on
but
tabletop,
I
let's
mean,
be honest.
basically like 10 seconds of time might have gone by, but in your personal life, about 3 hours have gone
Right.
by because so many things are happening at the same time.
Oh, sure.
You know, you're recycling, I'm shooting, he's recycling, you're shooting. You know, all this stuff's happening.
It's like in
And you
D&D.
and it's all gotta happen, and so you're just like, okay, that was at second 1, that happened at millisecond 10, that and that
Oh
kind of
my
thing.
gosh. Yeah, you're right. That. Yeah.
And that was the only drawback is, you do your move and then
It's like playing
Everybody-
Warhammer, man.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
I'm waiting to recycle.
Well, I'm waiting to move my leg back.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I'd like to try and stand up again,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
oh, that was
he's-
someday
I'll
you-
bring you
that
some.
was
I'm
always
assuming
the
if you
worst.
fell, you might as well just be like, I don't want to fucking play anymore.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Because it's like,
I'm gonna go to the drink
fell over,
man. That's
it's
the
gonna-
bar.
It's gonna take me 100 turns to get back
Yeah.
up on my
It-
2
it
feet.
does
like-
take-
Just give me a call. Just bring me on my cell.
Yeah, right.
My cellular phone.
Yeah, and before that, I'm
falling
afraid.
falling is bad.
Yeah,
That was
well,
the 80s,
Calling
right?
at home.
Yeah, falling.
early 80s.
Yeah, you had $900 cell
Oh.
phones that lasted about 20 minutes.
Which you
And I
couldn't
always-
afford because you spent all that
But
money.
you just put my fucking money on
So,
Battle.
and then you it was presumed that all these things were being run by nuclear reactors. So if you blew a mech up,
It blew.
it blew.
Sure.
And if you're
And
standing
with a
next
nuclear
to it,
reaction, so if you were standing next to it, you would take the force of a nuclear blast,
Did it,
which
like,
would often knock you down.
did it calculate out to
Or
where,
cause
like,
you
if
to
you're
blow up too.
10 miles from it, you know, have
you
to
would
minus
take as much.
point
It was
one
like
yeah,
it was
damage,
basically
it
like
was possible. Yes.
Oh my god.
Again, so the guy who did the original, and again,
Did he eventually go insane from like?
he was a military Navy guy who did simulations
Yeah.
for the Navy.
Well, that's
Okay.
we're kind of mixing
So
the
he's
two.
like,
So
I
the
could really
base
make
game-
some money on this. Nerds
The base
love
game
this
had
shit.
those rules too.
Right, but he was able to computerize them quite
Okay.
nicely.
But he computerized the
Right,
same
and his AI was so good because he knew how to write AI for military
Sure.
games. So
the ideal, the very best, because you would at the end, if you were the winning side, you would be able to salvage the fields
Oh, okay.
for whatever was left.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
one that blew up from a nuclear reactor was not very salvageable.
Sure.
So the very best, and you always try to do this, is to destroy the head,
Oh, the
destroying the
Yeah.
pilot.
yeah,
Sure.
kill the
Well,
pilot,
And then,
and
and
then
then
take
the
the
mech
rest.
just falls over,
Right.
pretty much intact.
And,
Roll the same.
Yeah, because at the end you sell that off for salvage
Sure.
money. So your house, whatever house you're fighting for, gets all those sea bills.
Yeah.
So yeah. So that again, my games. That was, and again, and your games. I mean, and again, we both came through PAW.
Yeah.
So that's how I learned about it too. So
Pretty much running through the same path.
yeah. Basically, I'm just a few years before you on that. So.
I still shudder that noise that you make when you felt that.
Oh yeah. Oh god.
Well, that was.
I still just go, oh.
Fudge.
The graphics on if you haven't seen it, you should go back and just go play it anyways. I'm sure you can get emulators for your Amiga.
Correct. Yeah.
And you go play Mech Warrior, Mech Force.
Or you can buy an Amiga for
Yeah.
$200.
Or you can buy an Amiga and just play it straight. Although it might be hard to find something that runs.
Get it together, yeah.
Yeah, but the graphics were just flat grid map, and essentially what would probably be a flat that was
Yeah.
That
essentially
is
the
how
map.
it looks out when you
That's
without the
the
numbers on
marker.
the
Really.
But you were looking at the maps from a top bottom, and they were just flat. And the only reason you would kind of know the difference because they had a mildly different shape to them.
outline. Yeah.
You know, on the outside. But the sound was great. It had these different sounds for the rockets. So when you fire your rockets, you hear
Yeah.
or the machine goes.
They
No,
always had that
the
going
best
for them. They had
one
really
was
good sound chips.
They did. They used them on that game.
the best one. I always liked the gauze gun. Was a.
Yeah. Again, the weaponry, like Travis was talking about, it was the fact you could combine so many different weapons and the way the weapons work together or against each other. You had to really be careful on how you loaded out your mech in that game.
Oh, and your team. Like if everyone on your team was an archer or a long range missile. I mean, you're gonna eventually get eaten up.
Right. They're gonna charge up on you and you're gonna
Yeah.
get screwed because
Yeah.
you can't hit them anymore with your long range missile.
Right.
LRMs are great if you're standing across the field.
Well,
but
that's
as soon
a
as
kinda
if you
funny
get
thing.
fast mechs to run up on you, you're done.
You wouldn't think missiles, but I mean it makes sense if you understand missiles or whatever
Right.
they launch and that you would think you'd be able to just I'm just gonna point it at them, but it doesn't work that way. It just shoots past them,
Right.
So like once they got into hacks, you couldn't use your LRMs anymore.
Right.
They would shoot past them. So you had nothing, to
No.
fight against
Wow.
other than your body.
Yeah.
And so they would just run up on you and crush you. Now, like an Atlas had all this armor and machine guns, which is basically what it did, is it would run up on you and just,
Tear you apart with machine guns.
and which could
Well,
basically...
a million machine guns.
No. Oh, God,
and,
yes.
and they were one of those very short cycle, very low heat,
Yeah.
and they could basically just be constantly all firing.
But you have to come up close.
Well, you gotta cut up close, so thus all the armor.
Right.
Because you're gonna take damage getting in.
But again, that's where FASA really got it right. They developed such a good universe as far as the the mechanics of the game goes. Fast was always good with the game mechanics.
This is hard.
Yeah,
So-
it started out
And then
pretty.
those
I mean,
are the
like
mechs.
it was. I think it started out very dense, but then like over time, like again, they did a good job of refining it.
Yeah.
You can barely even see them. You can barely even tell they're there. I just looked up what
Yeah,
you guys are talking about. You can
that's
barely
it,
even
man.
tell where your guy's there.
That's the game.
This smudge is.
Yeah, but you were
Yeah,
playing on a
smudges of
40-inch television.
Right,
You're
right.
playing it on a 12-inch monitor.
I know,
Right.
it's all the time. But it had the best control system because it was hot seat play.
Yeah.
But you could have some players on keyboard.
Right.
So you could have some players on mouse control and some players on joystick. So you could
Which was
kind of
good.
spread out around a table.
And we did that
and,
many a
and
time.
you didn't have to let me into that keyboard. You
Yeah,
know,
or
it's
here,
like-
here's have the joystick.
Yeah, here's the joystick.
You assign 2 to the joystick, 2 to the mouse,
Right.
2 to the keyboard. You can have 6 players playing, and it didn't slow down at all because at that point it's going between people.
That's when you discover projectors.
Oh
Wow.
god, yeah. Once we had a projector to play this game, it was amazing. But all right, who wants to go next?
I'll go next.
All right,
Go ahead, because mine's the same as everybody else's.
Yeah, I'll break it up a little bit.
Thank you.
Armored Core.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hey.
nice.
Those were the first mech games that I played. I was never any good at them because they're really fucking hard to play. Because while everyone else figured out that twin sticks was the way to go if you wanted to move and aim
Right.
easily, Armored Core was like, hit the buttons.
Okay, now wait a minute though.
PlayStation?
Yeah, but wait a minute.
On the original
one.
PlayStation, it did not have twin sticks.
Correct. Okay, yeah. But no, I've got the PS
So it was a
version that has the
little.
twin stick one.
It was a little ahead of its time as for games on the PlayStation, considering it was a third-person view of your mecha, and you. But there was, I mean, you had your D-pad and you had your LR buttons, so
Right.
the controls then made sense. But as soon as twin sticks came out, they should have dropped that, especially on the PS2.
They made a twin stick for the PS1. I've got 2 of them. We had them at
Yeah, they
Midwest
did.
Gaming Classic.
Sure.
They sure did.
But it doesn't mean
Yes.
that the game was
remember
just...
those big controllers? That's a twin stick for Armored Core. They made one specifically.
I had no idea.
We showed
It's
up.
very
for Armored
niche.
It's
Yeah.
very. They were very expensive. Was what the problem was.
Well, yeah. It's
So
usually-
And
It is.
very few games that used it.
right.
Yeah.
Besides Armored Core,
So a couple of flight games.
yeah. But that was a twin stick for the PS, the original PS. And actually, the link cable version of Armored Core that we showed, like you said, it's a good
It's a
straight
good
shoot 'em
game.
up. Yeah, it really is.
It's very fun. It's very fun, especially if you can figure out how the controls actually work. I was like 10 though, so not so easy. It also wasn't my game; it was my friend's game, so I could only play it over at his house because I didn't have it.
But the cool thing about Armored Core is it had a good story mode.
Yeah.
You play the story mode and go and play by yourself. But again, also the not the original Armored Core. Armored Core, which one am I thinking? The one that had the 2-player.
Master of Arena.
Yeah, Armored Core Arena had
Master of Arena.
Master of Arena had the 2-player version.
Yeah.
So, but the original one had a nice story mode. You could sit down and play it by yourself. Again, like Mech Warrior on the PC, it was a good standalone that you could play by yourself. Besides the control issues.
Right.
What I did not
Yeah, it was
realize
rough.
this one lasted too, because they made it all the way up until.
Oh, there's a ton of them.
Yeah,
Until
Armored Core
360.
6. Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
realize.
Yeah,
that
they made
just
a bunch.
launched. Yeah, their last one was in 2013. That's not even that long ago.
No,
Yeah.
no, it was a solid mech game.
Yeah,
They had a huge following.
Its real selling point is there's a metric fuck ton of customizations.
Well, like
They had 80
holy
bajillion
shit.
parts you can stick on your Mac and
It
actual
was,
number,
it was
by the way.
ridiculous.
Metric
Yes.
fuck ton.
An
Yeah.
actual
metric
metric,
fuck.
yes, as opposed to your
Metric.
imperial fuck ton.
Imperial fuck.
Yeah, which is a totally lesser thing.
But
A lot heavier though.
Yeah, well, the king's fuck ton.
Right. The king's
fuck ton.
But yeah, it was good for that. You could just sit around for like hours, like, oh, I want to make this with wheels, or I want to like put tank treads, or fucking 4 legs,
Right.
or
I'm gonna have
hover pads.
That's
or,
what I
yeah.
was always possessed. I was always obsessed with either the tank treads or the 4 legs. Like that was
Yeah,
my
the quad
jam.
legs was dope.
But I always was bad at everything else that I put on it though. So,
You know,
I was
that-
10.
Out in the peanut gallery, we got Vidya Gamer, Noob Mike.
Noob Mike is in
And
the
we-
house tonight, guys.
And we got Benjamin.
Hey,
guys.
Hello, friends.
Hey, speaking of peanut gallery, I want to finish this before we start the next one. I want to take a little break in between before we start talking about the next subtopic, but let's continue on this topic.
So it is interesting.
There's
how,
a general announcement, too.
Yeah.
General announcement.
I got a sign for it.
Cool.
I'm like,
Larry.
You are prepped. Okay.
Sorry, Larry.
It's
All right, Larry.
Larry's like being
Yeah,
polite.
Hey,
I
we're
think-
just doing,
I
we're
think
doing
there-
social media shit here.
I think Armored Core and then like Mech Warrior and that shows kind of a different sort of East and West style in mech games.
Well, that's...
I honestly, my argument is Armored Core is the true neutral middle ground between East versus West robots. I've played a lot of your Gundam games, your Armored Core series, Titanfall style, older FASA games, your Mech Warrior, Mech Force, all that jazz. Armored Core is the true middle ground between your okay. We explained this on an old Mech episode, Mech versus Mecha.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Fast versus slow robots. Again, your American West style is much more clunky, kind of more robotic movements where
Robot
you got,
jocks.
Robot jocks, right.
Where-
Pacific Rim.
Yeah.
Job.
Yes, thank you.
All right.
I'm gonna watch that movie again this week because it's so fucking good.
What is that? I really enjoyed
Yeah.
it.
It's
It's
great
a fucking
pleasure.
great movie.
Yeah.
Like, I'll be the first one to admit it. Fucking terrible plot.
Yeah.
But
It is enjoyable to watch.
It is enjoyable to watch. It stays together. Charlie Day's hilarious, and then fucking robots kill giant monsters that come out of the ocean.
Yeah, so...
It's awesome.
But again, that's a classic, especially the Russian mech, is so American style mech.
Even Gypsy Dangerous, I think, is fairly Western.
Great, yeah, very
Oh,
Western.
it is. It
but,
is.
But again,
I mean, two white brothers drove it for the first half of the movie, so yes, it is.
yeah, I guess so. But like, no,
But now the three-armed one.
the shit,
I like that one. That's a cool one.
Oh god, yeah, I can't think of the name of it right now. But again, like I said, I love that. Again, that's the cool thing about that movie is it really is a classic Western style mech movie.
Yeah.
Versus
absolutely.
a mecha style movie like a Japanese anime or something like that.
Like Mechagodzilla. Oh, wait.
No, not that kind of mecha.
Not the same.
But again, the mechs are big, they're bulky, they're mechanical, there's nothing.
Virtual steampunk.
Yeah, really. Yeah, I mean, and like I said, the Russian one just epitomizes that.
I bet
It's a
they think
beast.
it was
I mean, it
steam
looks-
powered.
Yeah, no, the Russian one probably was. So,
Yeah, again, my argument, Armored Core, I think, is the true neutral between East versus.
Okay,
I
fair enough.
really
I just
don't
noticed
agree with
when
that.
I look at a lot of the models and stuff, they have a lot of the sort of characteristics. There's
Yeah, but the thing is like you really got to look at it because there's legitimately like 1,000 parts.
right.
Like you can stick on a very like M1 Abrams tank tread, or you
Yeah.
can have like hover pads, or you can have like these very
Fair
bulky
enough.
mechanical quadra legs, or you can have like a roller thing. Like it's like
Right.
it covers the whole spectrum of mech, for sure.
Yeah.
all
All
right.
right, Rob, I think in the last one.
No, we have. Oh,
All right,
no, we didn't.
Yeah,
No, Rob, you are it.
Well, it's gonna be Mech Force because Jesus,
But it's truly
It's
Mech Force.
It's truly Mech Force. Yeah.
So you didn't play the tabletop battle.
No, and Mech Force and Battle Force. I mean, they were just when I was active in that was like the shit. I mean, I'd play some, Titans for Warhammer, but that was, and we played that a lot. I mean, we played a lot of that too, which had mechs in it, and had the Orc mechs, which are the best freaking mechs ever.
Well,
Warhammer 40K.
Are coal powered, damn it!
Well,
yeah.
Those are
No,
badass.
honestly,
Roll for damage every time you move.
There was nothing
Very
better
nice.
than
And
that.
I've always fought for the Imperium. But looking forward to that genetic enhancement.
Oh, wow. Yeah, no. Honestly, the Orc mechs were freaking amazing. So Warhammer 40K had a really good mech system as well. So this is the successor to the original Warhammer series. basically set 40,000 years in the future, blah, blah, blah.
It's space fantasy.
It is
space
space
orcs,
space
space
fantasy.
elves,
Right.
space humans, space dwarves.
So the
space-
Eldar had these
space,
really
space.
cool mechs. I played the Eldar all the time. Loved those mechs. Their mechs were elegant. They were more Eastern style, more mecha style mechs. They were fast. They were, they were single things. They didn't necessarily even contain a human. Generally, they put a soul stone in them, so they just had the essence of an elf in them. They weren't even
Kind of like my high school
piloted.
girlfriend.
Unlike the orcs, which had teams of guys running around on the outside, pulling
That's
cables
so awesome.
and moving shit. They were, again.
They had to roll like every time to see if it'd work.
Yeah, no, they did.
They
They
roll for damage.
did. The orc mechs were just amazing in that game. And then again, Space Marines had your classic, more the American style, European style mechs. The big, bulky, all muscle. But again,
giant machine guns.
yeah, exactly. Big guns.
Power fist stuff.
Right.
Terminator.
So
Yeah, I love
the
it.
only thing is I got to say,
come
The
on.
one that was so big that
My
it
problem
was
with-
the biggest one that you could deploy on a planet without crushing the planet.
my problem with
It
the way
had
it came
full
was
squats in the
their
legs.
general rules for their Adeptus Titanicus and all the big.
I can't believe somebody
was
said
not as
Power
good.
Fest and nobody cared.
I feel their robotic games were not
Really
well.
more into a power sword.
We're losing it. Oh.
Were not terribly well developed. There was a lot of imbalance. There was a lot of issues, and they corrected in later versions.
You can still, I mean, if you're an orc, you just mixed your forces. You weren't going to go off.
No,
just
no.
orc max, you'd be freaking dead.
But again, sometimes the load balancing was difficult in that game.
The whole orc motorcycle brigade were actually
Yes,
pretty tough.
yeah. Well, the squads had a really good
Was
motorcycle
it the,
brigade too.
well, you can launch a spleen ripper too. And
Dude, some of these
Show
figures,
pilots.
for the orc mechs, it's
They're
literally
the best.
It's like a ship with cannons.
Yes,
It
exactly.
looks like
what
it's
they
made of
were.
wood.
No, it was made of wood.
It's
That
like a
looks
cannon
like-
that comes out
right,
of.
not
So there's like a couple
Yeah,
of them,
yeah,
you're like,
like-
we gotta fire this cannon.
That's exactly what they
Yeah,
did.
this isn't incredibly mech related. We have to explain to him what a weird boy tower is.
Okay, so
Oh boy.
orcs
Weird
did
boy
have
tower.
psychics. They were called weird boys. Well, the problem with an orc psychic is he's not really focused on his mental abilities.
Oh,
He
boy.
just
They're not
can't
smart.
contain it.
Sure,
Right,
sure.
they're orcs. They're not
it
incredibly
made me questionable whether he has mental ability.
Well, generally they did. They just
Might be
generally,
rolling for
they generally would
luck.
misaim them all the time and blow themselves up. Literally a weird boy when he'd do a psychic attack or something like
Can
that.
explode, yeah.
Yeah, would literally explode, taking out the entire tower and everybody supporting it at the same time.
Yeah, so to keep them, they basically like weaponize them by putting them onto carts or vehicles. They put a tower on it and strap the weird boy to the top of it.
Right. So he'd do less damage to their own forces. Again, there were a lot of cool things
correct
in
me
the
if I'm
game.
wrong, that much of they didn't really come up with any of their own technology. The orcs, they just like stole.
They
it,
just
but-
sell
Well, I
it.
mean,
Yeah, they just sell it. They're
they
orcs.
didn't do it very
Sell it.
well.
Literally, like Justin
But they
said,
weren't really
they
sure
made
how
these
it
things out of
worked.
wood and
Yeah,
shit.
it's like the side of a
It
ship.
kind of looked like stuff.
Yeah.
If it was red, it would go faster.
No,
so
that's
don't worry about
yeah,
that.
exactly. And that's how the orcs kind of
I
planned that
always
stuff
played the
out.
orcs. I don't think I played anybody other than.
I
the
always
orcs.
played the
Yeah.
Eldar.
Yeah, I know you
I
did.
love the
I feel
Eldar.
like we should get that stuff out. It's all in your basement.
I know it is. It's all, we have.
I need to
you
bust
have
out the
a little more
spleen rippers and get
yeah,
going.
Yeah, we were.
I remember as a kid, like all the time, they'd go be like hold up for hours.
Yeah,
Just
we
like-
literally had a. So when I lived over on Prospect, we had set up a big table in the attic, and we'd all go up in the attic and
Alright.
play for hours.
Where we
I mean,
belonged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was that was quite the
One of
experience.
the
now
dirtiest
we're-
conversations I think.
Now-
One
I've had.
day they need to
And
bring
then-
back squats though.
Squats had that. I like squats. I really
Yeah.
do. So squats are the
They're space dwarves.
Right, are basically space dwarfs. They were a little more clean shaven than the modern day dwarf, but
the
they.
thought feels like it was a little redundant over orcs. But
What's that?
I don't think that's
Squats?
accurate. But yeah,
No, they're dwarfs.
You
They're
know,
just
but they also
clean-shaven.
had
They're just
you know,
drunk.
engines that were sort of similar. To
Well, they
sort of-
weren't right. They were a little
Yeah.
more mechanical. They were a little less
They were-
refined compared to Space Marines,
Right,
Or
right.
the Space Elves.
But they were
right.
certainly more refined than orcs.
And then when you get to Chaos,
Right.
That brought up
They
a
knew
whole-
why their stuff worked.
Right, yeah, that's true. All right, let's get back on the mix now. So
All
again,
right, so it's Mech Force. And,
Mech
and
Force-
why not?
Yeah.
You know, it's a great game.
and we've talked about it on the show.
I'm
before.
glad you bring up
It is-
Warhammer.
it
We'll
is
be
just-
playing it again soon.
Yeah, it is just a straight solid game. Plays well to this day. I'm still trying to find a version. I know I've got it amongst all my buried data. He did make one version with the drop ships. It was a beta version that came out later. It's buried on one of my discs someplace or on one of my hard drives someplace. There's a dropship version. He had gotten to the point where he wrote the dropships into the game, and the dropships add a whole new issue into it.
That's right after like he added the bases, right?
Right,
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So you had bases and dropships in that. At that point, his last version was really good.
Because that game had bases
And dropships, exactly. So wait. Let me explain how you do dropships in BattleTech. You literally take the chits, shake them around, and drop them on the board. When they say dropships, they literally mean they're dropships.
Yeah.
So, you remember doing that? Boom. And it's like, oh, come on, fuck it, come on. And they land in the
I used to
pond.
play a derivative game of that. I'm trying to remember the name of it. I used to
exactly,
play it all the time.
exactly.
Pissed him off too.
So,
Not
all right.
the name of it.
So, are we gonna go to the second topic, or should we make some announcements before we go to the second?
I'm gonna make a mid-show announcement, and then we're gonna go on to the second topic. Then we got another announcement at the end of the show. Let's do a quick transition.
All right, let's do a quick transition here.
Do that.
Robot.
Yeah, all right. So
Robot.
crap to talk about. There is an N64 GoldenEye tournament coming up on Saturday, September 2nd.
So if you're in the southeastern Wisconsin area and are listening and or watching us, you probably want to listen to these details because it's gonna be tough.
This is gonna be freaking awesome.
It's gonna be over at McAuliffe's on the square on 6th Street, Racine, hometown. God,
Yes! Hyperlocal.
yeah, hyper local. It's gonna be sponsored by Make Sense, who's also a friend of the show. And yeah, wow, huh?
Yeah.
What a great idea!
Super exciting.
One of my favorite bars and one of my favorite game stores are getting together with one of my favorite people to host a really cool game GoldenEye tournament.
Right,
So
and they're
it's
doing
also
this for
Extra Life,
charity.
too.
Extra Life,
For
which
Extra
we've
Life,
had
yeah.
on the show before. This is a great charity. If you guys haven't
Who
experienced
hasn't heard of
Extra
Extra
Life.
Life?
You know, something you never know. So Extra Life's a really cool charity. They basically, it's gaming for
Game
charity.
fundraising, yeah.
One of the friends of the show will be there. Benjamin will be
Is there
there.
a specific charity?
Yes. What's that?
Representing 8-bit.
Extra Life is the charity.
Is the charity.
And
Yeah,
then-
so basically what'll happen is people will create teams and have donation pledges. So they'll say, I have a goal to raise X amount of dollars. And then they will set up either like a streaming event or a live event. So again, in this case, it'll be a GoldenEye tournament. Some people do like live streaming for 24 hours straight or play, speedrun games, things like that. So there are different challenges, but you basically game and fundraise to raise money for charity.
Okay, wait a minute. This is for my buddy Mike Hodgson, who used to play in a band with me. Mike, welcome to the show. Yes, this is the toast to you, Mike. Sorry, Travis. I just think.
Well, what the
There's a
hell?
little left in there.
All right.
I was gonna poach on that ship before it's gone. And it's
Tom's
gone.
friend.
Yeah.
Hey, Tom's friend.
So yeah, he was a drummer in one of my early bands. So
Well, welcome to you guys' Games and Beer.
yeah, yep.
But he didn't have excessively short arms like our.
No, Mike was an amazing drummer.
Not
Holy
Joe's
shit, this guy
drummer.
could drum.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm gonna just real quick, it's on Facebook. It's the GoldenEye tournament for Extra Life. And
It's
again,
also on screen, by the way.
Yeah.
Right this
Oh.
second.
Yes,
Well,
yes.
fuck that.
He literally has
Well,
everything on
for
screen
people
right
who
now.
are illiterate like this guy, who might be listening to us,
That's true. We, do,
The
we
GoldenEye-
have more listeners.
it is the
He
GoldenEye
took the
tournament for
extra
Extra Life. You can
step.
search it on Facebook. So if you're in the southeastern Wisconsin area, it's going to be at McAuliffe's on the Square in Racine, Wisconsin. You can probably find it on McAuliffe's page. You can search for GoldenEye tournament for Extra Life. I highly recommend checking it out. It's going to be a fun group of people.
Yeah, and if you haven't been to the bar called McAuliffe's in Racine, it's an amazing bar. Both JJ McAuliffe owns both of them, McAuliffe South and McAuliffe on the Square. McAuliffe on the Square is kind of my favorite of the two McAuliffes. I know the other
Well,
one's
that's
favorite.
because you can walk home drunk. From
That's
it.
true. Okay, that might have a little to do with
Yeah,
it.
Well, yeah.
It's
I
4
mean,
blocks of.
But he's got a bunch of stuff on tap there. Great people there. It's a really nice environment.
For a good
my
cause.
favorite-
Perfect place to
My
hold a
favorite's the
gaming
other
event and
one.
raise some money.
Pretty
because
much
they always have
everybody's
fans at the other one, but
Yeah, pretty much everybody here is friends of the show. Has been on the show or is friends of the show.
Yeah, really. I mean, this is
Yeah,
kind
everybody
of,
here has
that's
been
it.
on the show or is
So
friends.
again, one more time, the guy who's actually running the game is Benjamin, and he is one of our friends and a cool guy. He was at Mech Day, had a
Yes,
great
he
time.
was.
Mech Day, I hope.
I would assume.
He looked like he enjoyed himself. Mind you, he did. He was like me, not getting enough kills in.
he won best train hat.
Yes, he did have a train hat on.
He usually wears his train hat.
He does always have his training.
Well, I wonder if he'll wear it for that day.
Yeah, neither
So if
one
he's-
of us.
If he's wearing his
hit
conductor's
anything
hat that
on
day,
one round.
make sure to make a mention of him.
We still won though.
I know you
We
won the
still
game.
beat you
But
without
but
fighting
you
a shot.
Neither of you guys shot
We
anything.
never did
I-
a thing. We
I
were looking
literally-
all over for you guys.
I literally had not taken a hit. Him and Ben were on, and you were on another team with somebody else. I forget who. They literally, nobody
Neither-
hit me, and all of a sudden it comes up, you lost. It was like, whoa, what do you mean I lost? Nobody even shot me.
That's because you didn't capture the points.
I know.
You gotta capture the points, Tom.
I know.
It was something though.
So yeah,
It
so
was a
that
good
was
round though, but it was just hilarious.
It was a hilarious round. All right, so again, guys, make sure to check that out. We will have links in our information when we post this
Of
show on
course.
Thursday. Make sure to check out the links. Again, if you're in Southeast Wisconsin, a good cause, well worth checking out.
I
Alright.
totally agree.
Second topic, Rob.
Second topic is 2 Mech games are coming up, both Battle Force and Mech Warrior 5, huh?
No,
Are coming up
I'm
first.
That's
It
good.
works.
Okay, Mech Warrior 5 has been on the works for friggin' ever.
Yeah,
I know it
like,
has. I know.
Long enough.
But
Long
no,
enough.
damn
where,
it, they're serious.
They released Mech Warrior. Microsoft is like a sense of goodwill to kind of generate.
Gave
buzz.
away.
Gave away
Mech
Mech
Warrior
Warrior 4, and that was like 2012.
Yeah, no,
but
it was.
But I will. Wasn't Mech Warrior 4 where they sort of had a departure from the first person?
No,
That's
but-
Mech Assault.
Well, Mech Assault.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
different.
weakened it.
So this is kind of where like Microsoft was trying to like name them differently. So Mech Assault was like the third person actually. They had Mech Assault 2 Lone Wolf, then Mech Warrior was like the first. It technically you can do third person, but the first third person action.
Vidya brought that game up, by the
Yeah.
way. Which it's a great game. In
Yeah,
fact,
yeah.
I keep it on my Xbox.
Mech
still.
Assault?
It's still, it's
Yeah.
a regular play on my Xbox.
Yeah, it's one of the
so
one of the
I
better
love it.
titles, and definitely both of them are very good for the Xbox, the original Xbox.
Just fun.
Definitely
Yeah,
one
just
higher.
plain fun.
So again, like Travis was saying, it's been so long, and Microsoft just tried to keep.
We're the only
franchise-
ones keeping up with the hype.
Right, it's been
Come
trying.
on, Trey!
No, but they wanted to.
10 years later.
I know, but they did. They released 4 as a freebie. And
Was
again, if you haven't gotten your free copy of it, get it. It's a great game, and it's free.
I don't know.
Still
Was
get
4
that?
the one that had the live actors in it?
I don't remember.
No, 4
No,
did
they had
not
dead
have
actors in it.
No,
It was
no,
really
they
short.
in the cutscenes. You mean?
Yeah.
No, 4 did not have that. That was
Okay.
an earlier one than
Four
4.
was 3 then. One of them had like actual people in the cutscene.
Right.
And I remember thinking like,
That's an older one, I think.
No, that was 3. I want to say.
I want to say it was 3.
Because
Yeah.
it was easier to film people than digitize.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Well, no, you know, it is in some sense. Yeah, it is cheaper actually to just.
But you had like people, but then you still had like the crappy pixelated esque like
Backgrounds,
and everything.
Yeah,
like that,
yeah.
That green screen.
Well, yeah, well, again, yeah. That was a while back. That was a while back.
Mech Warrior 4 was released in the year 2000.
It's almost the future.
Was it that long?
Shit.
Jesus Christ.
Well,
I'm
anything
looking
that's taken
at
this
the
long to
page.
develop can't be good, right? I mean,
No.
Come
Five
on.
could be amazing.
Yeah, probably.
Well, I mean,
Nothing would
wasn't
make
really
me
sure.
happier, but like,
It would
come on.
make me happy too.
Yeah,
That was
I
my-
don't know. It's switching to another studio and then spending 5 years on development to get Mass Effect Andromeda out, and people fucking hated it. So,
There may have been a.
Damn.
There may have been
I loved it, but
everybody else hated it.
I basically just spent my whole life going down on Bioware's balls. So like, whatever. Like,
least you're honest.
I'm always gonna love their fucking games.
Well,
So it doesn't
maybe,
really
I mean,
matter.
it's quite easy to think that like the audience went away from whatever it is they were doing. So 2 and 3 were really successful, and then like maybe on 4 they saw a drop off. So they weren't really sure what they were going to do with the franchise, and kind of moved on to other
He's
things.
doing it.
So
It's won Best Simulation
It
Game
looks
at E3 2000.
That does look-
yeah, well,
So-
critics,
Fine,
they know.
Yeah, I know. It looks a lot like Optimus Prime. Right there. That looks like Optimus Prime. But it is a good looking
Just
game.
sitting here
It does look
randomly
good.
commenting.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, I mean,
You're right. He looks like Optimus Prime now.
Yeah.
Mech
He's
Warrior,
not
the
a
guy-
mech.
It has to be the Timberwolf that you see like in all the cutscenes, not whatever the hell.
I think we've discussed that in other ones. The mech's got to have a pilot in it.
Also looks like the 70s
Oh,
show.
you mean it can be
BJ and the
sentient?
Bear.
No,
Right.
it cannot be
Yeah.
sentient.
Yeah.
For that.
Oh, right.
So, no, again,
Do robots dream
I mean,
of a
general-
metric sheet?
generally all the Mech
I
Warrior
do.
games have been good. I mean,
Yeah, but this is like.
I know it's been a long time.
Was
From
Mercenary just
2008
It was 2000.
Was
Well,
it
and
2
then
or 3, or was
That was
that a
2.
3? That was still
2.
just another variant.
it was
2.
because there was MechWarrior 2, and then there was like 3 expansion packs, and one of them was
Was
Mercenaries.
Mercs.
One of them was like
That one
something
was awesome.
moon, like moon
You
something.
look really excited about something.
Yeah. No, so there was, yeah, exactly.
Did you win?
There was,
No, I lost.
I don't think they've had any really
Got my ass. What?
flops.
But he was
No,
pulling it off.
I mean, none of
pretty
them were
well.
horrible. They all
No.
played extremely well.
Sure.
They all stuck to the
But
story.
I'm just saying,
well.
2000 was the last one, and it's 2017.
I know,
now.
I know.
17 years.
I know.
I mean,
So yeah, that does bring up the point. So my thing right now is, and I have not seen a good one yet. Would be a good VR mech game.
like how you can do like VR with
Maybe
Elite
they'll put
Dangerous.
MechWarrior 5.
yeah, Elite Dangerous.
Yeah.
Think of how good that plays VR.
Sure.
So,
Okay, so that's one that could be coming out.
right. There was
And then
a
there's the second one we were going to talk about.
You know,
well, no, we'll get back to that in just a
pretty,
moment.
though.
So
It
there
is
was
pretty,
there was a short demo out for the when the Oculus was still in development stage. It was called Vox Machine, which was a mech game, and it was really quite good. It was fairly simple. You were in a small training arena. There was no like external stuff. Actually, no, you did have you could drop on planets. It played pretty damned well. So the ability to do a good mech game VR, like they did with Elite, make a good space game VR, it's out there.
That is something that I would want to play in VR and just keep a bucket nearby.
No, you
I
played
would
played
love-
Elite in VR yet?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that one will do it to you because that one you
Elite
do.
VR
Lit-
is
lit-
bananas.
Yeah.
Literally every VR game makes me sick, but that's because I get motion sickness more than your average person. So, but I would play that for more than, I don't know, 2 minutes.
Yeah. Well, no, and it's a little less again Elite because of all the roles and moving around and the complete freedom and dimensions.
I'm pretty sure
You're
I'd just
more
pass
apt
out
to get
if
sick
I
of that.
played for
The-
longer
the-
than a few minutes.
The mech
Well,
games-
and he's got a point. In the mech, you'd be on the like at least
Correct.
Exactly.
You've got a horizon.
Right,
You've got a constant horizon, which makes a big difference in long-term play.
It does,
it's
but
still,
my ears don't understand that.
Yeah.
It doesn't. They don't get it. They're like, no, you're not moving.
Yeah.
Why? I'm gonna make you sick.
But I got sick of a VR game recently. I'm trying to remember the name of it. It's a game where you can float through like airlocks and stuff. It's in a base and it's like the game itself is like a ball game, but it's part of a full game, but it's got multiplayer in it. And you're floating. It literally just made me completely sick. I mean, I had to walk away from it, and that's unusual for me. I
I'm
usually
getting
don't
hella
get sick from
sold
it.
on this trailer though, so
I know, right?
See,
Yeah.
it's-
slowly
it
taking
doesn't
back
look
everything
good.
I said a minute
Right.
ago.
So I
It
get
looks really
it looks
good.
good.
And I
Warrior
see
5.
like all the part
Yeah.
damage.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know, but so for me, we were gonna talk about 2 of them, right?
Yeah, what's the
Yeah,
other
we'll
one?
get,
And-
we'll get to this next
No,
one.
but wait.
Just let the damn
Part of
video
my
go.
Part of my thought is though, it's almost apples and oranges. You know, it's like, all right. So are
No.
you interested? Though, like the one that were Mech Warrior or
Yeah,
Five.
MechWarrior 5.
probably could be a VR game.
Yeah, good.
It looks
Yeah,
like it could
I
be.
mean, you're getting that
definitely could
cockpit view.
Yeah,
It's framed out, so you already have kind of a framed out idea. So that
It goes
fits well with
down.
VR. So you could probably play it that way, or you could play it on a regular screen, or you could build yourself a
Perfect
little
teaser,
cockpit
too, 'cause
and
that's it.
Yeah, and
play it in
right,
a cockpit,
right.
maybe with some gimbals that shake you up once in a while.
Hey, I still want to make one.
I know, me too. So I mean, this game looks great that way, and it's the action style. I mean, it's putting you in the action. It's there.
Hurry up, we just switched to the other display.
But the
Yeah.
other game,
The other game,
is
Hey,
pretty
good transition,
bad.
Larry.
But
Nice job.
well, the 3 of us discussed originally Mech Force, and it's the turn-based
It looks badass,
strategy
too.
game.
Yeah.
That
I'll
and so
probably buy
instead
that.
of just a little bit of a top down and a little bit of sound effects, you're actually getting to watch the missiles destroy the other one, the punches that connect.
This is actually probably the only thing that could ever replace Mech Force, possibly.
It
depends how well it plays. So what Mech Force had, and I'm super excited about, because I feel like it's going to have all those things like, I got to watch my heat sinks, I got to watch my gimbals.
Right, which you don't get in Mech Warrior.
Yeah, they don't give you much, you know.
I mean, maybe even, they had a little bit of this element.
And it's actually called
and it's called BattleTech.
Yeah, well, they got fast.
So they're gonna have the, and I think both franchises have the same mech lineup.
They've made a deal with this company, yes.
Right.
I saw that Mech Warrior was actually FASA interactive.
Yes.
The BattleTech
is FASA.
It's also FASA.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so these two games are probably taking place in a similar, if not exactly the same universe.
Right.
Yeah.
But
it's different. It's different
because
style.
it's a turn-based strategy game.
Yeah, first-person mech running around versus click.
Turn-based stats.
Hey, Ryan!
And so
nice.
A wild Ryan appears.
Bum,
Nice.
bum, bum.
Bum, 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 bum. No, wrong thing.
No, I was going Pokemon, but that's okay.
Okay, we can go with Wild Ryan. Okay, we can go with that too.
Yeah,
So,
Wild Ryan.
So Wild Ryan appeared.
Yeah.
So I feel like
Catch him.
that
Hit him with
game
that Pokeball.
looks like it's going to deliver what we've been waiting for and because there
Since
isn't
the early 1980s.
Yeah, no, yeah.
it's in a sense it has the licensing and all that.
Right.
It isn't going to have the challenges that the Mech Force game had, where it was kind of sort of skirting everything, where you get
steely,
and the support's going to be sort of
borrowing that.
It seemed like that game was always sort of in demo mode.
Development
mode.
mode. No, but it was though, because it was released. The guy he wasn't like some game studio. This was some guy who really liked the BattleTech universe.
And
who liked the BattleTech universe. He's an ex-Navy guy who, again, his real job was writing real war games for computers of the time. So, it kind of has its own charm and history to it.
So, and is this going to, and so obviously it's going to have the graphics. It's going to be smooth.
Oh my God.
Because what was it a couple years ago? They had Steel something, I want to say, was a game that had sort
There was a
of
remake
promise.
of Steel Battalion that was
Yeah,
Heavy
sucked.
armor. Yeah.
Heavy armor, yes, thank you.
And it
We
wasn't
played that at
fair.
one Mech Day?
Yeah, we tried it. We tried it at one Mech
Oh.
Day. It sucked.
It wasn't
Well,
very-
was that the one that was turn-based? And it was,
No.
there
This
was
was the one that you had the hand
There
jacks.
was another PC turn-based
they were
game
like,
out there.
"Oh,
and it was not very good.
This is gonna get all the people to really love the Kinect. Really? Because it works 80% of the time,
Yeah.
and that's not nearly good.
I
enough.
don't understand how that game became so bad, because Kinect actually was pretty good at tracking. It did a good job. I played some
It could do a
amazing
good
stuff
job.
on the Kinect.
It could do a good job.
It was a gimmick. Everybody realized what it was, which is bullshit. But still, it really did do a good job. It was not a bad product.
Yeah, it was a good.
They
But
should've
I don't
just figured
understand
out-
how it did so
They
bad
should
on
have
this
just
game.
figured out how to use the Steel Battalion controllers.
Right, would have made better sense.
It would have been a better deal.
Right.
But on the BattleTech game, what I'm super excited about. I think it looks awesome. It's going to have some of that stuff that I really liked about it that I had to think about. But it's also going to have the fun of actually watching the missiles actually destroy. But here's the one thing: is it going to have that beautiful AI? You talked about the guy who designed it, and he was a military strategist, and you would think
Or do you think they're gonna
you
cop
would
out
try to
trying
like
to get
suck
online
the you would
strong?
try to suck the enemy in.
Oh, he did.
And try to
amazing
outflank
things.
them. It would know.
His
It would know.
his
It would
AI
predict
his
that
AI
that's what
was
you're doing.
Fucking unbelievable.
It was
For the
it was
time-
hard to win.
Oh, the AI was hard. You would lose a lot of first level characters.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's
his
first,
AI
second,
was
third,
perfect.
fourth, and fifth.
What he did for a living.
He was really
His
good.
AI
yeah.
was really, really good.
So I wonder.
We're gonna design an AI that can kill a man.
yeah,
But-
and it
Yeah,
did.
right. He should
And
be
it did.
designing
What I-
military AI.
but
That was
but
hard as fuck.
a promise I'm
Good
hoping
game, though.
for is that what ended up falling apart is sort of the building your character element of, oh, I have this pilot, and he's a greenhorn now, and I'm gonna build him up to a veteran, and but part of the problem was his AI was so good that you often were just wiped out right away.
Right, and got frustrated as fuck.
But if you got through like 4 or 5 battles for probably by luck, your guy was still a rookie.
I
And I was
know.
Like,
It
how
hurts
is
so
that?
bad that everybody backed up their characters.
Yes, all the freaking time.
Yeah, if you ever made it to like level
character.
2, you were backing up your characters. It was so hard, but it was so good. I played it constantly. Remember getting the last Pepsi? I remember that.
Oh God, yes,
I know.
There's a
Over
cast
last
Pepsi
damn-
left,
Yeah.
and you have to send your mechs out to get the last.
Don't be
can of
smashing
Pepsi.
the damn last
Wow.
Pepsi.
That
Don't
was
be
an
smashing
amazing-
it.
that was an
Just
amazing mission.
retrieve it and run like hell.
Right, that's when you send the hoplite.
Yes, yes. He gets the
And watch
Pepsi
him
and runs.
get SRM to death.
That was a great mission.
That was a great mission.
Well,
I'll
there was
just
2
never
sides.
forget
And if
it,
you were
man.
playing you would just kind of set up. If you were defending the Pepsi, you would just set up and watch. You know, and just
I think
rain down fire.
I think the best games are the games like that, though, where you just remember those moments like forever. You just remember all the times you had with that game. I don't think I remember any multiplayer game as fondly as I remember Mech Force. I mean,
Well, the thing is,
it's so
it's
good.
detailed.
Yeah,
It's a
and you-
very detailed universe. You can really kind of lose yourself in a bit once you kind of get the hang of it, you know?
Tony and I one night met somebody at a restaurant. We were just joking around with them, took them back and played Mech Force, then raped them. But no, well, we did play Mech Force, and that was the most important
Before you
part of
raped
it.
him.
And just, person loved it and hung out for like years afterwards. Just, well, minus the rape part, but just for
Make
years,
sure that wasn't
just for
the-
years, you know, we just played that game together. It was just so good. And even now that the Amiga is so obsolete, it's still a game we pull out every once in a while because we want to play it. And it's, I'm sorry it became a tribute to one
I was going to
freaking
say,
game.
so the
Really,
moral of this podcast.
the moral of this
It's
podcast.
So-
that game.
So this new BattleTech I think is trying to live up to that game, and I have hopes for it. I
It
think
looks good.
It
looks
looks
really
like
good.
they
like
get
it
it.
has promise. It looks like they
It's by the
respected what it
Shadowrun
was.
guys.
Yeah,
like,
and they did a good job on that.
they know what the fuck they're doing. Like they're fucking
Sure as
good
hell
at
we
this.
don't.
So I think they'll probably be able to live up to your guys' very high expectations.
I hope so. I hope so.
Tell me how it is, because I'm gonna play it.
All right.
All right, well, it's
I hate
time
when
to
you
wrap
have a
this up.
surviving mech or pilot and he's dispossessed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you got no money.
And you got no
You
money
got
to buy
no
a new
money.
mech.
Broke
But
ass
that's
is gonna have to
that's
rent
the
a Mech.
kind of stuff that they need to put into this game.
Right. So
He's
how
got
do
a
you get
fucking
back
can
in?
of Pepsi.
Dark Souls
Yeah,
is popular
he
now,
does.
so you know, like
Ran
the
out
hard
that
games,
last
the
can of
hard
Pepsi.
Mech games can come back.
Yes. Yes. All right.
All right, so let's wrap this up. We do have one more announcement, and just bring it on screen
hell is that?
now.
Now.
Are we going?
Now?
Meow.
When is this
Meow.
event
now?
Now.
Or
Now?
like,
Ooh,
then
that's
now?
right.
When
this
will
is a good
then
announcement.
be now?
This is a good announcement.
Yes, we
actually.
have Mad with Power Fest coming up next weekend.
Next weekend. So if you want to meet up with the guys, Games and Beer crew, we are going to be live in Madison next weekend.
Give
That's
give the dates, because next weekend doesn't mean the same thing to
Yeah.
everyone.
It is going to be
Which is-
September
which
2nd,
is a conversation I had with my wife
2017.
weekly.
If you're watching this in the past, I'm sorry you missed it, but there will be another one next year. Yeah, there's
Not
going to be
everyone's
Lords of the
watching, Larry.
You know what? I just don't even. The minute I hear Lords of the Trident, I'm just kind of. I'm gonna sing along the longest.
The longest journey.
I'm gonna hear the longest journey. Damn it! And that's all I need to hear.
So so this is a Metal Fest in Madison, Wisconsin.
But I will tell you that I know a few of the other bands too, and they're really quite good.
Yeah. So I don't. I only know Lords of the Trident.
Yeah.
And I hear though the
Is
lineup is really good.
Yeah, the
Inner,
line-
Inner Siege is good.
Right.
Yeah,
So this is the first annual Mad with Power Fest. Check us out. We may have some cool giveaways for people who stop by and say, "Hey, I saw your episode of Guys, Games, and Beer." If you say that to us, maybe you'll get a cool giveaway.
So we'll have some stuff out there.
Actually,
Yeah, we're
in
gonna be.
our booth, and then there's actually another group that's going to be out there.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
they're going to have video games in that too. So it really is kind of a festival atmosphere. There's going to be some great metal music, but there's also going to be this kind of fun arcade stuff happening also.
Right, so between bands, you can come to the back of the area. There's going to be free arcade games to play. We are going to have some really cool retro gaming stuff set up that you guys can play.
I'll be bringing the Dina 2-in-1, which
Yes!
is a pretty damn rare console.
Yep.
I might bring the Amiga in.
Well, that'd be
I might
cool.
bring that in for a ride.
Larry's talking about bringing some Vectrexes out there, so...
Yeah, I think we should have a couple of Vectrexes. I'll have my bar top arcade machine.
So we will have some cool retro gaming going on in the back. Make sure to check
Maybe
us
a couple
out.
light guns.
Ooh, light guns are always good.
I'm just saying, it's not a metal festival if you're going to bring nerdness into it without a Dungeons and Dragons game.
Ooh.
I'm just putting that out there.
Okay,
I'm not going to do the
Metal
ColecoVision
and
one.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh,
no, that was in television that had the D&D.
Yeah.
Metal for the guys that sat alone during lunch in high school.
Hey, asshole.
Let's not go there, okay?
Hey, I resemble
I
that.
sat with the
I
other
resemble
metalheads,
that.
thank you. We were
I was
alone.
just gonna say, let's not
We
go
were
there.
alone together.
Hey,
It was
Exactly.
we had numbers.
Thank you. So,
Yeah,
all right,
sorry, I went
so,
to high
3 or
school
4
in
of
the
them.
early 2000s.
definitely check us out
We
next
were
weekend,
cool.
or this coming weekend in Madison, Wisconsin. That is September 2nd. We are going to be, what's the name of the venue again?
Red Zone.
Man,
Thank you, Red Zone in Madison. We'll be there. I think the show starts about 6, 5.
Yeah.
It's
the
an
doors open at 5:30.
it's an evening show. There's a great lineup of metal bands. Definitely check out our buddies, Lords of the Trident, who are friends of the show. Check them out. We will be in the back. Also, again, if you're not doing anything on the 2nd, that's the day that, again, there will be the Golden Eye Tournament for one more time. Thank you. Have another beer top. For Second Life.
Extra life.
Extra life.
Sorry.
Second Life, you
Second
mean
Life,
video
the old
game where I
the old
can
video
fly
game
and
where you
have a
acted
car?
like you were a woman and you
We're all
and you hit on a bunch of older guys.
We've had a lot of beers, okay?
Sorry.
I was just
Can you
I was
play
gonna
the
let that,
guitar?
You were just gonna let that one slide?
You're a sports writer in Philadelphia?
Surprise. Oh, that was good. I like
But,
that one.
so there's a lot of stuff, cool stuff going on this weekend. If you're in the Racine area, definitely check out the Extra Life tournament.
You already plugged it, just let it go.
I should have.
Just
All
let
right,
it
if
go.
you're in the Madison area or middle Wisconsin area, check out with the Mad with Power Festival. It's going to be amazing. Cool stuff. It's going to be a great weekend. Make sure to check out one of those venues.
I agree.
All
It's
right.
going to be a great time. Of course, you can... What the hell? Oh, anyway, well, we just totally... Apparently, we've been taken over by Mad with Power... Because I can't
it's
actually
over all of
remove
our
the
faces.
logo.
I'm okay.
I did not remove the logo. Thank you very much for watching Guys, Games, and Beer. You can, of course, always check us out at www.guysgamesandbeer.net. That's our official website. But you should really check us out on Facebook, www.facebook.com/guysgamesandbeer, where all the action happens, where we talk about stupid auctions. We post some memes, and we act kind of stupid. Also, what, you liked hanging out with Tom? Well, if you're on Twitter, you can hang out with us at Guys, Games, Beer. Notice the not and Tom might even give you a free game. Of course, we all give away free games on all our venues, but Tom gives away 2, 3 at a time, where Facebook, I only give away 1 because
We're cheap.
Plus, he's got this sweet van that he gives them out from.
That's right.
It says free candy and free puppies on the side.
That's right. Also, don't forget, if you like Twitch, if you like your YouTubes, you can check us out there. We're always Guys, Games, and Beer. Thank you very much for watching this episode. It's been extra long. It's been a haul, but we love Max.
We fucking did it.
We love
We
Max.
fucking did it, guys.
Wait, we really love
We
Max,
love
okay?
Max.
Mine's at home.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah. Outro. And
Outro.
slowly-
Bye. Bye.
Hell, we're gonna see some Max. Yeah.
Hey, look at my atlas.
That's pretty great.
Best part is that creaky chair at the end.